Alright, Diglett, use Dig. Nice! Good job, Diglett! Wait, what's going on? My Diglett's evolving! I wonder what it could be. It could be like a Super Saiyan Diglett or something. Well, alright, here we go. Wait, are you kidding me? It's just like 3 Diglets glued together. That's gotta be like the lamest evolution ever. What is going on, guys? This is Dobbs here, bringing you another Pokemon video. And in this video, I'm gonna go over 10 Pokemon that you probably wouldn't want to evolve. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Now for number 10, I chose Sunkern, and you're probably wondering why on earth you wouldn't want to evolve this Pokemon. I mean, the Pokemon has the lowest base total out of every Pokemon ever. It would seem that your main goal if you had a Sunkern would be to evolve it. So what is it? Well, believe it or not, Sunkern has the highest possible total for all 5 performances in the Pokeathlon, which means that it can compete with legendary Pokemon like Arceus, Giratina, and Mew. And if you don't know what the Pokeathlon is, it's basically the Pokemon contest of Gen 4, where the Pokemon's speed, power, skill, stamina, and jump are rated. And apparently, Sunkern is the Rocky of Pokemon because it can literally outcompete every Pokemon up to Gen 4. And yes, if you evolve Sunkern into a Sunflora, its stats get worse. Which doesn't really make sense, but you know what? Sunkern has heart. That's what it has that no other Pokemon have. It's Sunseed heart. So, if you feel like outperforming a freaking Arceus in the Pokeathlon, you probably wouldn't want to evolve your Sunkern. But this is only number 10. Number 9. Now for number 9, I chose Abra. Yes, the Pokemon that can only learn Teleport through leveling up. Now up until Generation 5, before Mayanfu and Volbite came around, Abra was the reigning king of the baby Pokemon. You see, what makes Abra so powerful is its glass cannon-like aspect. With a high special attack and speed, this Pokemon can wipe out basically any baby Pokemon in existence. And yes, even Dark-type Pokemon are at Abra's mercy because it can just learn Dazzling Gleam and fire it off to oblivion. Now the main reason why I chose Abra as number 9 for this list is due to its presence in Pokemon Stadium 2's Little Cup. Abra was so powerful in this league that it got to the point where if you transfer one for Pokemon Red or Blue with a few stat boosters on it, it would carry you like Mewtwo would in the Elite Four. Not to mention that the elemental punches were considered special attacks back in the day, and that the Goldberry would heal Abra to full health when it would get damaged. Oh, and it can learn Thief, which at the time was a special attack. So even Ghost-type Pokemon had no chance against this Mon. Needless to say, Abra was a legendary Pokemon when it came to Babymons. So if you feel like punching babies in the Little Cup League, you probably wouldn't want to evolve your Abra, because it is a pretty scary Mon. Number 8. Now this may seem like an obvious pick, but I had to include it for this top 10. So for number 8, I chose the mascot of Pokemon, Pikachu. Now of course, as the mascot, Pikachu has a lot going for it as an unevolved Pokemon. Like for instance, it's been given different cosplay forms with signature battling moves, enhanced stats in the Let's Go series, and even a version where it's wearing many of Ash's hats. But these are all scenarios where Pikachu is unable to evolve, therefore you have no choice but to keep it as an unevolved Pokemon. So I guess the real question is, when would you rather not evolve Pikachu when you have the opportunity? Well, for one, the Light Ball, the sole item that makes Pikachu competitively as good or even better than Raichu. You see, Pikachu and Raichu are both special attackers, but with the Light Ball, Pikachu has a higher attack and special attack than Raichu. And even though Raichu is more bulky and has a higher speed, Pikachu has moves like Volt Tackle that make up for his lack of stats. Secondly, there is Pikanium Z. Dragon Ball Z, which is an item that only Pikachu can use, which upgrades its Volt Tackle into a special Z move called Catastrophica. And lastly, this is kind of niche, but in Pokemon Stadium, if you transfer a Pikachu from the Generation 1 games, you can fight one of the hardest trainers in the game and be rewarded with a Surfing Pikachu, which is kind of cool. Not to mention that you get a cool Surfing Pikachu minigame in Pokemon Yellow, which is way better than the Surfing minigame in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. So in the end, Pikachu is as competitively good as Raichu, gets cool exclusive moves like Surf and Pika Catastrophica, whatever you call it, and also gets cool exclusive minigames in the Pokemon games. So yeah, for all those reasons, you probably would rather not evolve your Pikachu.
Number 7.
Now for number 7, I really wanted to include a Pokemon that you would rather not evolve in a Pokemon speedrun. And let me tell you, it was super hard trying to find a Pokemon for this situation because in speedruns, you're trying to go as fast as possible. But I thought it would be interesting and I was up for the challenge. And believe it or not, I actually found an occurrence where you would rather not evolve your Pokemon for a certain battle. But just a heads up, this isn't a popular strat and it's not that big of a deal. But hey, it is quite possibly the only occurrence where you don't evolve a Pokemon in a Pokemon speedrun. So it has some kind of value to it, I would say. But anyways, in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, in the very beginning of the game, there's a strat where you don't evolve Squirtle until level 18 so that it learns Bite for Misty, Staryu, and Starmie. And that's it. You would rather not evolve your Squirtle at 16 or 17, but at 18, it's cool. I told you, it's not that big of a deal, but hey, it's niche, and I like niche, and top 10s are niche. Yeah.
Number 6.
Now for this top 10, I wanted to include a Pokemon from the Pokemon trading card game. So with that said, for number 6, I chose Trubbish from the Black and White Plaza Storm set. Now in the trading card game, there are Pokemon cards called Pokemon Tools, which is basically a parallel to the held items in the video games. And so the reason why you wouldn't want to evolve your Trubbish in a Pokemon card battle or whatever you call it is due to its really powerful attack known as Tool Drop, which does 20 damage for each Pokemon Tool card attached to any Pokemon in play. Now here's the thing, Pokemon can only have one tool card on it at any given time. And so with Trubbish, you wouldn't expect to do that much damage because there aren't that many tool cards on the field. But thanks to a very powerful Sigilyph card with the ability Toolbox, which allows it to have 4 Pokemon tool cards on it at a time, Trubbish can do not just 20 damage, but 80 damage in spurts with every Sigilyph card with 4 Pokemon tool cards on it. And keep in mind that you can have up to 4 copies of the same card in any deck. So Trubbish and Sigilyph are going to do some crazy damage. So yeah, who would have thought that Trubbish and Sigilyph would be the perfect pair? That's the beauty of the Pokemon trading card game.
Number 5.
Now, this one's going to be short and sweet because I feel like we can all agree on why you wouldn't want to evolve this Pokemon. So with that said, for number 5, I chose Stuffle. Now, out of all the Sun and Moon Pokedex entries, I feel like Beware's is the most terrifying. As stated in Pokemon Moon, this Pokemon has a habit of hugging its companions. Many trainers have left this world after their spines were squashed by its hug. Yeah, why would anyone want to evolve their Stuffle knowing that Beware's hugs could kill them? That is asking for a death sentence. And I mean, hey, Stuffle's a pretty cute Pokemon, so, you know, just not evolving it has a lot of pros. Especially the pro about staying alive. Because if you bond with your Stuffle and it evolves into a Beware, it's gonna kill you, man. It's gonna kill you. So for those reasons, I chose Stuffle for a Pokemon you would rather not evolve. Okay.
Number 4.
Now, if you're someone who likes to troll in Pokemon battles, you're definitely gonna love this one. So, for number 4, I chose Riolu. Now, in Pokemon Black and White, all Pokemon were given hidden abilities. And with Riolu, it was given a very powerful hidden ability called Prankster. And what this ability does is that it gives a priority of +1 to any status move. So as you can see on this priority chart, a move like Roar with a -6 priority will become a +1 priority move. Now, the reason why I chose Riolu as a Pokemon that you wouldn't want to evolve is for the fact that it's the only Pokemon with Prankster that can learn the move Copycat and Roar. So imagine this, a Pokemon like Ferrothorn coming into battle and setting up entry hazards like Spikes, Stealth Rocks, and Toxic Spikes. And then switching out to your prankster Riolu, who knows Copycat and Roar, who just roars and copycats its roar every single time. And since Rylu's prankster gives Roar a +1 priority, it's most likely to go first every single turn. Therefore, you're just roaring your opponent's Pokemon until they die from the entry hazards. Basically meaning that you just win. You just win. And funny enough, this exploit with Riolu got so out of hand that Game Freak actually nerfed Copycat in Pokemon X and Y, making it where Copycat doesn't work with certain moves like Roar. So sorry, if you wanted to do this in Pokemon Sun and Moon, you can't. But if you want to troll the Elite Four in Pokemon Black and White with your Riolu, you can. So yeah, I know it's a niche pick, but that is why I chose Riolu for number 4 on this list.
Number 3.
Now, I've mentioned this Pokemon in the past, but I couldn't resist adding him to this list because, well, he just fits perfectly. So with that said, for number 3, I chose Garchomp. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Garchomp doesn't evolve, so what is Dobbs talking about? And what I'm talking about is not regular evolution, but I'm talking about Mega Evolution. And with Garchomp, he is definitely not a Pokemon you would want to Mega Evolve. You see, with Garchomp, when it Mega Evolves, its speed goes from a really good 100 to a mediocre 92, which at its level of play is a very big deal for 2 reasons. The first reason being Garchomp's whole set revolves around it being very fast, and secondly, it opens the door to a ton of Pokemon that would normally not be able to outspeed it in its regular form. Not only that, but Mega Garchomp's new ability is more situational than Garchomp's regular ability. Normally, Garchomp has rough skin, which is very good for taking physical attacks, but when it Mega Evolves, its new ability becomes Sand Force, which sounds like a Star Wars spaceship or something. And what this new ability does is if a Sandstorm is active, Mega Garchomp's Ground, Rock, and Steel type attacks are multiplied by 1.3, which is very situational to say the least. And finally, its item slot. When Mega Garchomp evolves, it has the Mega Stone, which really does nothing after it Mega Evolves. But with a normal Garchomp, its item slot opens, and with a Life Orb, it's basically an all-around better Pokemon than its Mega form. So it's safe to say that Mega Garchomp is a complete downgrade, which is why it's number 3 on this list.
Number 2.
Now, number 2 is more of a personal preference, but I still want to add it to this list because it's kind of funny. So with that in mind, for number 2, I chose Shiny Slugma. Now guys, Slugma's normal form is based on magma, but its shiny form is absolutely brilliant. You see, the metallic coloring that Slugma has is based on solder, which is a liquid metal that's extremely hot and hardens when it cools. And with Slugma, it makes complete sense because if it stops moving, it's gonna harden and die. Gonna die. It even says it in its Pokedex entry that it has to keep moving because if it stops, the mag will cool and harden. So the solder aspect of its shiny form is really cool. No pun intended. But then Shiny Slugma evolves into this thing. A freaking pink monster which could be melted Play-Doh or something. I even looked at this origin section on Bulbapedia and there's nothing about it being pink. So basically it just became pink because why not? And what really bugs me is that in Gen 2, its shiny form was better. It was like a Smurf magma thing. You know what? No, it actually looks pretty terrible too. I actually went in and made Shiny Macargo look like Shiny Slugma. And I gotta say, it looks pretty amazing because I'm a master at Photoshop. But yeah, anyways, for those reasons, I chose Shiny Slugma as a Pokemon you would rather not evolve.
Number 1.
Now this was going to be very short and very sweet, so get your ears ready because this is going to be awesome. So with that said, for number 1, I chose an Eviolite Chansey. Now all I have to say for this Pokemon is one word, Eviolite. The Eviolite is what makes Chansey a tremendously better Pokemon than Blizzy. Comparing Chansey and Blizzy's stats, Chansey has a base special defense of 105 while Blizzy has 135. But when you put the Eviolite on Chansey, its special defense goes from 105 to 157.5. Now, you're probably telling yourself that isn't that big of a deal. I mean, Blizzy still is better with his learn set and all that. No, Blizzy and Chansey both learn all the moves that you practically need for a battle, and this is not even taking the EVs into account. When you max out the EVs in Chansey and Blizzy's special defense and defense stat, you really start to see a big difference. A 40 to 60 stat difference. Really, the only thing Blizzy has going for it is hoping Chansey Chansey uses his Lucky Punch item, which is literally an item specifically made for Chansey to boost its critical hit ratio, which really wouldn't help at all because you never use Chansey to offensive stuff. So yeah, Chansey is by far a better Pokemon than Blizzy when it's holding the Eviolite item. And that is why I chose it as number 1 for a Pokemon that you probably would rather not evolve. And there you go, the top 10 Pokemon you would rather not evolve. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This top 10 is my first of being a full-time content creator, so I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. And if you want to get notifications for the channel and all, be sure to hit that bell, because that bell does something. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Dobbs because Twitter is cool and I tweet, and you should follow my tweets. And subscribe to my gaming channel because we are so close to hitting 100,000 over there. We're like 2,000 away or something. Oh, and also, I made a Discord server for the Dobbs Nation, so you guys should definitely join that. And finally, for the question of the day, what Pokemon would you rather not evolve? Be sure to let me know down below in the comments because I would love to see the ideas that you guys come up with. And yeah, that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.